Everyone, and welcome to Skyrise Academy. Today we are going to conduct a webinar on the importance of law optional subjects in UPSC and all the other optional subjects as well. So let's start. First of all, we should understand what is covered in this webinar. What is the objective of doing this webinar? We will be covering the importance of optional subjects in UPSC preparation. We will also be covering the why law as an optional subject, law optional subject syllabus and its overlapping with the other GS subjects, approach towards preparation of UPSC law optional, why law optional at Skyrise Academy, and how to apply for the course at the Skyrise Academy. So moving on to the webinar, and let's understand. First of all, we should understand the exam pattern of UPSC, how the UPSC conducts its examinations. First comes the prelims examination. We also call it preliminary examination. The exam consists of 200 marks, and it also consists in two stages. The one is the GS1, that is General Study first one paper, and other is GS2, that is General Study paper 2. The paper first consists of the factual based MCQ based examination, and it is also of 200 marks. The exam consists of 100 questions of 2 marks each. The second paper, that is paper 2, is of qualifying in nature. But to get into the merit list, you have to qualify the paper 2 first. For example, if you do not qualify for the paper 2, if you do not get the minimum marks in paper 2, your paper 1 will not even be checked, right? So there's no question of scoring a name in the merit list if we are not qualifying in the paper 2. Then after qualifying the prelims examination, then comes the eligibility for mains examination. The mains examination consists of 9 papers and of 1,750 marks. There is also the second aspect of the mains examination, that is personality test. The UPSC, in trade parlance, we call it interview as well. The UPSC has termed it as the personality test. It consists of 275 marks. Again, the who qualifies the mains examination, that depends upon the merit list made by the UPSC, right? Next, we will understand mains examination pattern. There are 9 tests in mains examination pattern. First 2, as you can see on your screen, are qualifying subjects. That means you are not supposed to gain marks on your merit basis. There is underlining benchmark for this exam for these 2 papers, that is paper A and paper B. Paper A consists of Indian language. There is a list of Indian languages which can be chosen by the aspirant out of his or her personal choice for this examination. Paper B consists of the compulsory language, that is English. The exam consists of 300 marks each, and an aspirant has to score 75 out of 300 to qualify this exam. I should be giving an advisory that if only a person qualify these exams is eligible for the checking of another exams of that person, that subjects, another subjects of that person. For example, if you have qualified for paper A and paper B, that means you have scored more than 75 marks in each of these papers, then only the other subject, that is paper 1 to paper 7, will be checked. Otherwise, there is no logic for that, right? Now we should understand what is the importance of optional subject in UPSC mains examination. First of all, as you could see in your previous slide, that paper Sixth and paper seventh is consists of optional examination. The optional subject is divided in two papers. That is paper 1 for optional and paper 2 for optional subject, as you can see on your screen. And each paper, the two paper consist of 250 marks each. That means the total marks of the optional subject is 500. That is 500 out of 1750 marks. If you can, if you want to calculate the weightage of optional subject, that comes to 25% of total mains examination. That is a huge, and it can be the game changing for you. Now we should understand the importance of optional subject. See, in UPSC exam pattern, most of people, all the aspirants study the same content, more or less the same content for all the GS exams. This is the optional subject which carries the 25% weightage of total marks in UPSC exam. It changes the game. It gives you extra edge. If you are master in your exam and you can score well, so it certainly provides the added benefit, right? Now we should understand the importance of law optional as an optional subject. If we look at the success rate of law as an optional subject, then we have this table that provides the year wise success ratio of candidates appeared and candidates cleared the examination, mains examination, who had chosen the law as an optional subject. If you look at the number of candidates appearing every year, so there is certainly an increase of number, right? And even if you look at the success ratio, who the candidates who had appeared for the law optional as their optional subject and cleared the mains examination, look at the ratio of the success, that is 24.3% in the year of 2013 and 14. That is huge numbering ratio if you can look at. Now if we compare the law as an optional subject with the other subjects, we can also find out that it has a good ratio as compared to the other major subjects, major optional subjects opted by the candidates. See, we are not comparing here the minor subjects, for example, the local language subjects and the literature subjects, because the number of candidates who appear for that are very insignificant. So out of the major subjects, the law remains in top 5 as always. We had for the year of 2017-18. Now you can also see the highest success ratio of the major optional subject. It was backed by the law only. The average success ratio of law optional was also around 21% for the last 5 years. It is given in the UPSC annual report published each year. You can also find out in the UPSC annual report.
So now let us see the benefits of choosing law as an optional subject. Its majority of its syllabus is static. It is very high scoring, so chances of losing marks are low. It is rational, and that's why it is very high scoring subject. Then the source of material is easily available. Also, it enhances your ability to read between the lines. See, recently the agriculture ordinance was promulgated by the government. So even that is law. And if you select law as your optional subject, you can read between the lines, between all the various statutes, whether in the field of international conventions, in economics, and in various other subjects. Also, it improves the quality of your answers. And more than 50% of the syllabus of law optional overlaps with the GS subjects. So that saves your time. And it is very useful in your service also. So now first let us see the syllabus of law optional. It consists of the Indian Constitution, Indian Penal Code, administrative law, international law, law of torts, mercantile law, and contemporary legal developments. Now let us see how does it overlap with the other GS subjects. See, the whole of Indian Constitution you need to study. It's in the GS paper too. Then major sections of the Indian Penal Code. There are some 15-20 sections which are very important and everyone has to study it. Then crime against women are covered in law optional and also in GS. You know, women, the topic of women is so important that essays are asked on it and it's even useful in ethics paper. Even the questions are asked in GS paper 1 as well as GS paper 2. Then administrative law, 50% of the overlap is there. Various doctrines, then important judgments, and the bills, transgender bill, human rights bill, mental health care bill, and contemporary whole of contemporary legal developments. The right to information, intellectual property rights, IT Act, environmental law, competition law. So all this is overlaps with the GS subjects.
See, now we should understand this service specific benefits. That is, if you qualify as the UPSC examination and you are deployed in the UPSC services, so how the law optional as a subject and as your background can help you in your service. See, if you are deployed in the Indian administrative services and you have already studied the administrative law, so it can be very very beneficial in performance of your services and in understanding the span and the area of your service. Further, if you are deployed in the Indian police services and you have already studied the Indian penal code, I need not to tell you the benefits you can derive from the your background and your studies. Next comes the Indian Foreign Services, and you already have learned the international law. International law is also part of your Indian polity and IR, right? So it is overlapping in your optional subject. That is a very very beneficial. Other services can also drive benefit from law optional. See, in any services, any matter related to the government post or the government governance, there comes the legal angle to the every service, to the every work, every matter related to the government post. So legal angle can be well understood from the law background only, or you if you have the capability, or if you have already practiced how to interpret the various laws, so it can help you very very actively. Now let's move on to understand what current affair topics are also covered in law optional as a subject. See, for the preparation of UPSC examination, you have to be very very updated with the current affairs topics and with the very very hot topics. So all the hot topics are also covered in your law optional as a subject. First of all, if we talk about the triple talaq bill, this was the most controversial and most talked bill in the recent parliamentary sessions in our country. It is the significant part of law optional as a subject. Further, the this current government was very much active in changing of names of states or cities or the districts. So, as you know, the West Bengal was also proposed to be changed to Bangla, and now the recently Coimbatore to change to Coimbatore. It is also part of law optional as a subject. NRC in Assam and the whole of country, we have already witnessed the outrage or the hassle created by the implementation of NRC in Assam, and also it's a proposed idea of the government to implement in the whole of the country. That had made a really hassle in the country. Article 370 for Jammu and Kashmir, Sabrimala case, all the important judgments of the Supreme Court or the various high courts.
Recent data leaks in the dark net, the cyber leaks and the data protection bill, the need for personal data protection statute, then the Twitter policy on fake news and its regulation, also the Google and France legal conflict on the abuse of dominant position by the Google for advertising. So that also will be covering in contemporary legal developments. Then the recent sanctions on International Criminal Court by the United States. So it's very important from the UPSC point of view to connect every statute with the recent developments. Now, who should be taking the law optional?
See, this is always debatable, and the students or the aspirants are always in dilemma to when it comes to choosing of the optional subject. The people coming from the different backgrounds prefer to choose the subject related to their background, and obviously that is very much helpful for them, because most of the syllabus for the optional subjects come from the graduation or the post graduation, and the people who are already graduated with the subject tempted to go for that. But here we should understand and choose it very wisely. So, as we have already discussed about the advantages of choosing the law as an optional subject, we should also understand how it can help in the particular UPSC examination and the scenario after the clearing of the examination, right? You talk about any matter these days, any subject these days, any policy these days, it has a legal angle, and being deployed in the governance of the country, you should be able to understand that angle, right? So studying of law optional as a subject, studying of law will immensely help you to understand that legal aspect of every government policy or every administrative policy, right? Candidates with the law background will certainly go for the law optional as a subject, owing to its almost 50% overlapping with the GS subjects, and also it's helpful in facilitating to perform their jobs as well. But here, the candidates from non-law background can also uh, opt for the law as an optional subject, owing to its benefits, as we have already discussed. So it should be up to the understanding of the candidate to go for the how can they justify with the choice of their optional subject, right?
Now, how to start? Suppose you decide that you want to opt for the law as your optional subject. So where should you start? First, obviously, the basic concept is to be thorough with the syllabus. You should know what you should be reading, what is asked in the exam. Then you refer to the previous year questions. Start as early as possible to be well prepared and keep the stress away. Then you need to make a standard list of books or join coaching. Law as an optional subject requires 5 hours a week. That you can devote maybe 1 hour for 5 days a week or 5 hours in one single day. That's up to the aspirant. The aim should be to write one question every week if you start a year before exam to give you the answer writing practice. And also you should link it with the current affairs topic. Daily, one current affairs topic should be linked with the static portion of law, and the notes should be prepared accordingly. Also get your answers which you write like once a week daily, one question daily, weekly, sorry, and get your answers evaluated to know your performance. And revision is also important. You can revise once in 15 days. We at Skyrise link current affairs up to 40%, and that's why we provide updated syllabus. Now, why choose law optional at Skyrise?
See, now we have already discussed about why we should choose law as an optional subject and what should be our approach. Like we have discussed in this previous slide, how to start. For example, understanding your syllabus, previous year questions, then linking of your current affair with the static portion, revision, writing of answer every week. That is there. Now, what is the benefits of choosing law optional at Skyrise Academy? In the Skyrise Academy, we strive to provide conceptual learning of every topic from the very basic. For example, there is not only reading of the syllabus. You should understand the syllabus. What is the law has always been enacted on the basis of its intent. So we try to teach the intent of the law, intention of the law, and why it has been brought in, right? And we provide the abridged notes. For example, the optional subjects has very vast syllabus, and particularly the law optional is a huge one. So a aspirant must know what not to study and what only to study. We do our research and provide the very abridged notes so that it can facilitate the aspirants. Constant evaluation of the preparation. In the law optional subject itself, we have inducted 22 tests to know the performance of the candidate who are preparing for the law optional subject. There is also one-to-one interaction with the every candidate. Monthly live sessions are conducted to solve the various doubts of the candidate. There will also be the video lecture for the important topics, and to help to facilitate the candidates understand the concepts thoroughly. You will be accessing the account for the next 5 years once you subscribe for that. There's a very structured course. We have structured in a manner that what should be prepared first and what should be prepared last, and in between, for the benefit of the aspirant. There is always an expert for the guidance of the aspirant, what should be the preparation strategy. Every current affairs is linked with the law optional as a static subject. So these are the benefits why you should choose the law optional from the Skyrise Academy if you really want to.
And in almost all the modules of law optional provided at Skyrise, you will find the linkage with the current affairs. You will find a topic which you must have read in the newspapers, and there will be food for thought so that you can think for yourself and connect very well while reading the newspaper.
Now let's understand how to register at the Skyrise Academy, right? For the registration, please visit our website, that is www.skyriseacademy.in. You will be directed to our homepage where there is the option for the signing up on the right up corner of the screen, that is sign up. If you click at the sign up option, then a sign up window pop up on your screen, and you need to fill up your details as mentioned in the sign up window. Then you will be directed to your dashboard. See, there the dashboard is provided before you subscribe your course, so that you should know what you are subscribing to. Most of the time you are very oblivious about what is going to be, what is your dashboard going to look like, and is it user friendly or not. There you can choose, there you can scroll on your screen and choose from that. If you look at the on the black dash at your dashboard, there are the list of courses, and the first one is law optional course that you have to choose while subscribing for the law optional course. Thereafter, you will be directed to the detail of the course, where you will find the date of the course, topic to be taught, syllabus it covers, right? On the front upper head, you will find the subscribe now option. There you can click and choose your option. Thank you, Skyrisers, for being patient to listening to this webinar. I hope it will help you in choosing your optional subject and prepare you well. So if you have any query about this webinar or about any about the optional subject or any course on the Skyrise Academy, you can write your query at info@skyriseacademy.in. You can also call us on the number, or the WhatsApp us. If you save our number, you can WhatsApp as well, and we will be striving to reply you, to help you with your queries. For more information, do visit our website skyriseacademy.in, and also like our page on YouTube for more information and videos in the future. Thank you so much.